date will be the man that will be my husband.
Look at some certain things. Will I be able to spend the rest of my life with him?
Hey guys, welcome back to Decision Line with Yemi Johnson Ebo. If you've been following us and been watching, we are looking at the concept of dating. And we still have with us Mr. Bayo Shotomide and Sister Beju Okunaya Shadiat. I love to call her by that name. So you are welcome. You're welcome, my guest. It's been a wonderful time. And continuing and looking at what we've been talking about earlier, Mr. Bayo said something striking the last time he spoke, and the word was be ready. Begins with you. I'd like you to share from your own experience. Between the time you met your wife to the time you got married, how did you walk around that concept of dating? Before you say something, I'd like to quickly just highlight the stages of dating. So at least our discussion will be centered around those stages. With me, on my research that I have, every relationship goes through 5 dating stages. These stages of dating are: number 1, attraction, reality, commitment, intimacy, and finally, engagement. I take it again: attraction, reality, commitment, intimacy, and finally, engagement. So if you follow me very well, the number 1 stage talks about attraction, which I believe is the first thing that happens between two parties who want to come together. Physical attraction. So, like I said earlier, Mr. Bayo, how were you able to run around the concept of dating, looking at this stage, attraction, when you met your wife to when you got married?
All right, thank you very much. It's like I said the last episode, I tried to settle things first with myself. So, and I don't really have much trouble getting the right person. And the way it started is very simple. I was ready, and then I opened up to also see if I can get the person that is suitable and fit for my readiness. So initially I wasn't an advocate of dating, so I meant business. So I meant business in the sense that I knew I was going into something that would end in marriage. And that is where that word courtship meant a lot to me. So I was going into courtship. So now the attractive part of it, of course, it was there. So after getting it right, I started, trusting God, searching, and it wasn't difficult for me to get attracted to the right person. So, and that was there. And then the attractive part, of course, is different. But the fact is, you can't rule out the physical part, as in, okay, what do you like everything you say about the person and so on like that. And then considering the vision, the purpose of that person and all those things like that. So we actually passed through that. I passed through that. There was attraction. So, and then after that, we move on to the next stage, like you said, which is reality. This is now the stage where you don't want to hide anything, although you still don't know what the person likes and what the person don't like. So there is this little bit of pretense. You can't rule it out. And that is why with time, if you really get it right and you meant business, your pretense will not be that long before you begin to really tell yourself the truth, because truthfulness is very key. So we went through that too. That reality part is very important. That's where you really show yourself your color, and then you move on. So we also went through that. And then the next stage is the one you called, if I'm right, is it commitment now?
Yes.
Yes, you made commitment, and this is the time you now begin to know yourself, and then you can now ascertain that yes, I want to be with you. So I don't know how to really, I'm being conscious of time because I don't want to go into more details, but I also went through that commitment part. And that is when you begin to, see one or two persons that is important to her. And then she begins to see or get to know one or two persons important to her. When you start dating, you don't go that far to the point of getting to know important people in your life. But at that stage of commitment, you begin to, okay, this is my dad, this is my brother, and then thereafter we move to that level of intimacy. Intimacy, that's the point where you begin to share secrets. You can talk about your past. I told you at the reality stage there is pretense. But when you get to that level of intimacy, you talk about your past. This is me. This is my past. This is my, and we did that in my case too. Yeah. And the last stage, of course, is the stage of engagement. Okay, and that is the one I believe, God willing, all things being equal, should be able to lead to marriage. Okay. So they are actually vital. They are true. They are basic steps in that is very similar to courtship. The only thing about courtship and Christian courtship is that there is a level of assurance which I believe should be the first stage, and that was the way I started.
Okay.
I started, and I told you I was ready. So when I knew I was ready, I prayed, and there is this go ahead, this backing I have from God, because this is a Christian program and you need to settle that. So that precedes all these 5 steps.
Okay.
So
assurance.
Assurance from God. That go ahead, that backing. Then the moment you settle that, all these 5 stages will be easy. And that's just my experience in brief.
Thank you very much for that wonderful explanation. It's now clear to me personally that regardless of how we want to term it, to an extent, there's courtship in dating, there's dating in courtship. Whichever way we want to pick it, whether you are sure from the beginning or you are not clear. Because a larger percentage of our youth in this generation actually go into a relationship without any clear vision of this is the right person. A lot of people, let me use the word try and error. Let's just give it a try. If it works, fine. If it don't, in fact, in this present world of today, you see two adults sitting down and saying, come, let's do this. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, they are putting it on a scale. So, now, having shared your own experience, which you told us you started from that point, and I want to believe strongly that it helped you, it worked for you. And let's not get it wrong that it might not work for another person. So, Sister Kweju, on a very short note, I'd like you to just tell us, being a single lady and aspiring to get married someday, I want to believe that you've been into a series of dating, if I'm not mistaken. How do you run around this concept of dating with brothers you've met? Let me use the word brothers you've met, or probably guys you've met. Very, very short.
Okay, thank you very much. In my own case, it's a different thing, because on when it comes to dating, we ladies, or let me use the word females, we really don't have much to say. Like everything, as far as our country is concerned, everything is surrounding the guy. Just like what you said, like if your guy is ready, you know he's ready. And at that point, every other thing he's doing comes on point. But when the guy is not ready, just like you said, like we have so many trial and error. Even when you're trying to make the person see the reason why this thing can work, you understand, and they still feel, I'm not ready. I just think I just want to let me just try this. And at that point, they bring in so many things, so many concepts that it doesn't work with you personally, and it doesn't go along with your belief as a Christian. But just because they are in that process of trial and error, so they just stand on that point, and that's an excuse for them to exit the relationship.
Okay. Thank you very much. On this note, viewers, I'd like you to feel free to drop your comments. Feel free to drop your your take on what it is that we're discussing, dating. We've just been able to dissect the stages of dating, and you agree with me that dating and courtship are kind of interwoven. At this point, we'd like to leave you with this word, that be ready. Regardless of whatever it is you want to do in a relationship, it begins with you. Like Mr. Bayo said, it begins with you. Know what you're going in for. Know what you are standing for. Be ready. That is our take on this episode. Don't forget, follow us on all our social media handles. Drop your comments, and we'll be ready to take them up. We are glad you're following us. Thank you very much.